Ah, look at that messy hair. Anyway, today we started our breakfast at the beautiful Pan Pacific Hotel in Vancouver, Canada. It was so good. And then I got on the ship, and this is my room. And I'm going to love this because on the 21-day Hawaii cruise, I've got a floor-to-ceiling window, which will be so nice. And then after I got checked in my room, I went upstairs and had French fries, and they were really good at the pool upstairs. And then when that was done, I went and got my hair cut. So you can see how good looking I am. The girls will say I look like a movie star. Anyway, then it was time for dinner. I had French onion soup. I love the French onion soup on the ship. And then I had a shrimp cocktail. Another good thing to have. And then I had enchiladas. Enchiladas aren't really Hawaiian food, but that's okay. I still like them. And for dessert, it was a cheesecake. It was pretty good. And of course, I had to have a cup of black decaf coffee, so I won't be up all night. And then I came back to my room and crashed because I'm exhausted. Good morning. Here we are on day 2 of our 21-day Hawaiian cruise. So we started with room service breakfast. It was really good. And then up to the crow's nest for a delicious chai tea latte. And there were a lot of people up there. And then after that, we went to the Lido pool and played cards all afternoon with my friend Jean and Ellen. It was fun. And then we went to the dining room. And in the dining room, we were watching dolphins out the window. It was really fun to see because the dolphins were swimming right next to the ship. But we outran them and eventually we couldn't see them anymore. So then it was time for our dinner, and our first starter was French onion soup. It's so good. And here's our sunset from the dining room. Beautiful. And then it was time for our main entree, which is a herb roasted chicken. It was pretty good. And for dessert, it was a delicious sundae. Gotta like food on Holland America Line. And then after that, we went to the BB King Lounge for trivia. And our team did really good in trivia, but we didn't win any awards for it, darn it. And here I am playing trivia. And then I took this video of the hallway. I don't know why I have this, but I do. And when I got back to my room, I had my laundry returned, which was great. And I also had this towel animal on my bed. It's a little dog and a piece of chocolate, which was great for bedtime. And on that note, it's time for bed. So we'll see you on day 3 of our trip to Hawaii on board the Holland America Coins and Down. Night, night. Today's Monday, so here we are on the ship, and here's our current position in the world. We're out in the middle of nowhere. So today started off with room service in the room, which is delicious. So I had the all-American breakfast, scrambled eggs, sausage, bacon, hash browns, and coffee. After that, I went up to the pool deck, and I played cards with my friends Jean and Ellen. I don't think I won any games, but that was okay because I was drinking my chai latte. After that, I had lunch at the pool, and it was really good. We were playing cards, too. I had a hot dog and French fries. Then I came back to my room, and I went up and got a massage. It was really good. Lana's a great massage person on the ship. I changed my clothes. Then I had room service again, and this time it was a pulled pork sandwich with French fries and a ginger ale. Delicious. And then, after that, I went out of my room. Finally left my room, and I went to the 9th floor to the pool and watch movies at the pool. So it's really nice because you can sit at the pool and watch movies on the big screen TV. We watched a movie about some whales that got trapped in the ice. They gave us free popcorn. And while the movie was going, I had a banana gelato. Anyway, that was our day. Hey, good morning. Today's Tuesday of our 21-day Hawaii cruise. Here's a location halfway between the mainland and Hawaii. For breakfast, we started with the All-American breakfast. It's so good. I just love breakfast at Holland America. And here's looking off the bow cam. So this is the middle of the ocean. After breakfast, I went up to the Lido pool, had a delicious pumpkin spice latte. And you can see here I'm laughing because people are doing line dancing. And that was kind of entertaining to watch. We played cards all morning. It was a lot of fun. I actually won one of the games. So I was pretty impressed with that. When we were done with cards, I had French fries from the dive-in. It's so good. And then it was lunchtime, so we went to the Dutch Cafe. And this is the Grand Dutch Cafe on board the Holland America Line. The food's really good here. And I had their Dutch split pea soup. It's really good. After we went to the Grand Dutch Cafe, we went to Future Cruises and booked a cruise next year going from Seattle to Vancouver to San Diego through the Panama Canal and ending in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. That's going to be a lot of fun in 2026. So we've got another cruise scheduled for 2026, so we'll see if that happens or not. Anyway, they went to the dining room, and I had delicious French onion soup as usual. Then I had this cheese Mexican dip thing. I don't know what to call it, maybe a nacho. It was good. And then I had a Peru chicken, which was good. Here's the view out the dining room window. It was really pretty tonight. It was kind of a sunset, but not really. And here's more sunset views before we have our dessert, which was this chocolate cake. So good. And then after that was over, my friends and I went to my room. So we took the elevator, went to my room, and we watched the new version of The Karate Kid. It was pretty good. And after that, we were all exhausted and went to bed. Hey, good morning. Today's day 5 of our 21-day cruise to Hawaii. Here we are in the North Pacific, getting closer to Hawaii. We started the day with doing laundry, so this is great. You just send your clothes off, and tomorrow they should be sitting them back. So we started the day off after laundry with breakfast in the room, which is always good. So I had the all-American breakfast. That's always a favorite. And here's my room looking a little messy. Luckily, I've got great room stewards who will keep this place clean. And then after that, we went up to the Lido pool and sat around. You can see that they've got the roof open, which means that it's getting warm outside. It was actually kind of hot and humid out there. That was okay. And then I got a delicious cookie from the Lido, which was great fun. And here we're just looking at some of the artwork and some of the lounges on board the ship, because there's a lot of those inside that we haven't covered yet, and I'll take you there. And now we're in the dining room for dinner. So this is on the 3rd floor looking down to the 2nd floor. It's a huge dining room. Here's one of the tables that we haven't messed up yet. And here's dinner, French onion soup to start, delicious. And then I had a Vietnamese spring roll. It was really good. I could eat more of those. And then I had katsu chicken, which was great. For dessert, it was coconut pie. Always good. And then after that, we looked at the sunset out on the promenade deck. And it was really pretty tonight, which was great. And there's nobody out on the promenade deck because it was raining. And then we came back to my room and we watched a movie with Bradley Cooper called Aloha. It was okay, more of a chick flick, but that's okay because the girls that I were with, they thought it was great fun. Anyway, that's it. Tomorrow's going to be day 6, and we're getting closer to Hawaii. Hey, good morning. Today's Thursday, day 6 of our 21-day Hawaiian cruise. As you can see, we're almost to Hawaii. The day started off with room service, and they gave me 2 of everything, but I could only eat half of it. So that was good. Then I went to the Lido pool. And the Lido pool, they had the roof wide open because that Hawaiian warm air was there, and it felt so good to be outside. Then after that, I went to the spa and had a spa day. We started the day with the pedicure, and it felt so good to get my feet taken care of after all this walking that we've been doing on the ship. And then I went and got a shave, so I look really good for Hilo tomorrow. And here's the view from the spa. How nice is this? And then when that was over, I went to the relaxation room and met Lana, who's the massage therapist on board. I've known her for a while, and she gave me a great massage for an hour and a half. So my body felt really good, but I was exhausted after that. So I had to come back to the room, take a quick nap before I went to dinner. And at dinner, we started with French onion soup. That is always so good. And then it was a jumbo shrimp cocktail for my second entree, or appetizer, whatever. And then it was shrimp and grits for my main entree. That was delicious. And then it was a chocolate sundae. And after that, we looked out the window and said, wow, look at that beautiful Hawaiian sunset we're seeing tonight. So we're starting to see the beautiful weather and the sunsets. And tomorrow we arrive at our first stop, which is Hilo. So anyway, I went back to my room and we watched Blue Hawaii with Elvis Presley. It's a good movie. And my room stewards made me a towel elephant. How cool is that? Aloha from Hilo, Hawaii. So today the ship pulled into port here, and we got off the ship and did a little tour with my friend Dan and his wife Twyla. It was a great time seeing those two. So then we went to the farmer's market, and they had all kinds of stuff. So they had lots of crafts, fruits and vegetables, you name it, they've got it there. So here's just some of the pictures looking around the farmer's market. It was a good time. So from there, we walked across the street to a restaurant, and I had a delicious Kalua pulled pork sandwich. So good. From there, we went to Rainbow Falls, which is always fun to see when you're in Hilo. It's not from downtown. That's a bad selfie. I'm very pasty white. And here's beautiful Rainbow Falls. How pretty is that? After Rainbow Falls, we went to one of the beaches where we were going to look for turtles, but unfortunately we did not see any turtles. It was kind of hot and humid today in Hilo, so it felt really nice not to be cold like it is at home. And then we came back to the ship, and tomorrow we were on the island of Maui, and I stayed on the ship because I had nothing planned, so it was a great, and there was no one here. So we started the day with lunch in the Lido, and I just had some French fries with barbecue sauce. They were super good. And then I decided to take pictures around the ship. So this is the first stop, the gelato stand, which is the Lido pool. Here's a selfie in the elevator. And then from there, I went to the Dutch Cafe, and this is kind of good. They have Dutch split pea soup, delicious. And here we're showing some of the artwork around the ship. And this is my favorite spot on the ship, the BB King Lounge. So it's 2 floors, and they have blues music in here, and it is so much fun at night. They also have the Dutch party here. Most of the stores were closed today because we were in port, so they couldn't make any money. And here's the casino, which we're not supposed to take pictures of, but I kind of snuck in pictures. This is another good one, the Billboard Lounge. So this is kind of top 40 music. The piano bars. And across the hall from that is the Rolling Stone Rock Room. And here they have bands that are playing rock and roll music. It's a lot of fun. And this is the Notes Bar. It's kind of a whiskey bar kind of place. Always fun to go to. And this is the world stage. So this is where the dancers are. And the big production shows are in here. This place can seat a lot of people. It's a big theater. And here's the promenade deck. So this is fun to walk around. I think if you walk around this thing 3 times, you've walked 1 mile. And then here's the elevator lobby on the 12th floor. And this is a ship model that's up there. And this is a pretty picture of the ship in Alaska next to a beautiful waterfall. And here's more artwork on the ship. This is in the crow's nest on deck 12. And then we're going to show you the crow's nest right now. So this is the crow's nest. It's on deck 12 and overlooks the bow of the ship. So it's really pretty. You've got these floor-to-ceiling windows. And you can sit up here and just relax and have a good day in the beautiful crow's nest. And now let's go down to level 2. So this is kind of one of the hallways by Club Orange. And these chairs, a lot of people sit in them and just relax. And it's time for dinner. So this is the dining room. It's supposed to be like a whale, I think. It's very pretty. 2 floors. Seats lots of people. And then let's talk about dinner. So dinner started with cream of celery soup. It was really good. It had ham in it. And then another entree was the sesame chicken, which was delicious. And my main entree was rigatoni with chicken meatballs. And then dessert was a turtle chocolate cake. Aloha! This is day 9 of our 21-day cruise. Today we're in Honolulu, Hawaii. So we started breakfast with room service. It's always so good to have their all-American breakfast. And then after breakfast, we got off the ship, and here we are walking between the ship and the port. And then we took an Uber. So the Uber took us from Pier 2 to Pier 38. And at Pier 38, we met our friend Trudy. And we met Trudy on the ship several years ago, and we've been friends with her ever since. And since we were in Honolulu, we said, let's have lunch with Trudy. So here we are with Trudy, and lunch was katsu chicken. It was pretty good. I'd give it a 5 stars. And here's another picture of us with Trudy. After lunch, we went to the Ala Moana Mall and got a bunch of macadamia nuts to take back to our room stewards and dining stewards and all those people. And then we went back to the ship and took a short break, because after that, we got back in an Uber and went to the other side of town where we were going to the luau. So here's just some of the views. And here we are arriving at the Aloha Kai Luau. So this luau, it was a very kind of touristy place. It was also at the aquarium, so you could see the turtles and the fish. And then you could see the luau. So at the luau, they had some traditional Polynesian activities going on in the background. And then, of course, they had the host that was up talking. And here's one of the pretty views. So the view was actually overlooking the ocean, so it was pretty. And at night, it got dark, and you got to see a kind of a sunset. Dinner was, it was just okay. I would not give that a high rating for their food, but their dancing was good. So they had the fire dancers, they had the Tahitian dancers, they had the Tongan dancers, and the Samoa dancers. So here's some of the dancers that we saw. It was very pretty. Unfortunately, we got the cheap tickets. We sat in the back so you can see people's heads in our view. So if I ever go there again, I'm going to know not to do that. But anyway, the girls here are doing Tahitian dancing. And if you don't know, I spent a lot of time over the years in the Cook Islands, which is 3,000 miles due south of Honolulu here. and their umukais or their luaus are very different than here, but it was still fun to do. So we watched the show and then got back to the ship about 10 p.m. and we were all exhausted. Aloha! Today's day 10 of our 21-day Hawaiian cruise. So the day started out as usual with hot coffee and the all-American breakfast. It's always delicious. So we overnighted in Honolulu last night, and in the middle of the night they moved the ship. So we were at Pier 2, and now we're at Pier 10, which is the Aloha Tower. And here's the Aloha Tower right here. So they did that because of scheduling and the pier and all of that stuff, so we moved the ship to a new location, so that's okay. Anyway, after I saw the Aloha Tower, I went upstairs and had a delicious pumpkin spice latte in the crow's nest, and there were like 5 people up there. It was really nice. And then I went to the pool, the Lido pool, and had a hot dog for lunch at the dive-in. It was really good. And then when that was over, I got all ready to go to the Royal Hawaiian Hotel. I put on my pink shirt, we got in the car, and boom, my battery died, so I did not get any videos at the Royal Hawaiian Hotel or Waikiki Beach. Anyway, it was really nice over there. I sat at the lounge on the beach and had a drink and then came back. So here's the beautiful Royal Hawaiian that I couldn't film. So then I came back to the ship and it was time for dinner. And guess what? I started with French onion soup. No surprise there. And then the next thing I had was a delicious spring roll, which was pretty good. Today's also Canadian Thanksgiving, so I had the turkey dinner with mashed potatoes, stuffing, and all of that. And for dessert, it was Canadian pumpkin pie. Really good. They reopened the gift shops, and I got a Holland America Night shirt. So that's good. Here we are, day 11 of our 21-day Hawaii cruise. So we started the morning off by waking up in Kona, Hawaii, where I had room service. Again, same thing for breakfast. Always good. Anyway, after that was over, I went downstairs to the Dutch Cafe, and Hazel, who's a really good barista, made me a delicious chai latte. Gotta like it. Dutch Cafe is always good on the ship. And then after that, I went upstairs and walked around the Lido, and there was absolutely no one in the Lido today because everybody was off the ship. So this is what the Lido looks like. That's the buffet where you can eat everything you want. And here's one of the elevator lobbies. So today, the same thing happened to me. We were in Kona. I got off the ship, and boom, my phone battery completely died. So there's an app on our phone called the Navigator app. I think the Navigator app is what we use on the ship, but it's also draining my battery, so I can't use it when I leave the ship. So when I got back to the ship, I went to the gelato bar at the Lido pool, and they have really good gelato, and I had dulce de leche, but it was really hot today, so that thing was melting faster than I could eat it, so it ended up all over my clothes. And then before I knew it, it was time to go to the dining room and dinner. We started with French onion soup, always delicious. And then after that, I had this pulled pork taco. I think it was called the Kalua taco. It was really good. And then I had hula chicken, which was chicken with kind of a barbecue sauce and pineapple. And then for dessert, I had a really rich pie and a cheese plate. I ate the cheese plate, but not the pie because it was too rich. So then when that was over, I came back to the room and just watched a movie. And that was kind of the end of the day. Anyway, see you tomorrow on day 12. Good morning. Today's day 12 of our 21-day Hawaiian cruise. So today was one of those days where I needed a vacation from my vacation. So here in the Wili Wili or Kauai, I just relaxed and did nothing. So let's go to dinner. So dinner was cream of potato soup. It was delicious. And then it was coconut shrimp, which is really good. And then my main entree was a salmon, which I really enjoyed that because I hadn't had salmon on the ship yet. And here I am smiling in the dining room. And then dessert was a chocolate sundae with brownies and peanuts. It was good. And then on my way back to the room, I stopped and got these little guys for my traveling companions. Aloha! I don't know if I can still say that now that we're sailing back from Hawaii to San Diego. Here's our current position. So we started the morning with room service. As usual, it was delicious and I had the same thing. So then I went up to the pool deck and I watched these people do line dancing and we played cards all afternoon. It was a lot of fun, and we met a bunch of different people from all over the world just sitting there. After that, I had to come back to my room, lay down for about 10 minutes, and then I had to get up and go talk to the lady at Future Cruises because I need to figure out my spring cruise. So we're supposed to go to Europe, but I don't know if that's going to happen. So if that doesn't happen, I need to have a backup plan. So my backup plan is to do a Pacific Northwest cruise, and that'll be a lot of fun. So my friend gets better so that we can go. Here's the Future Cruise desk. Katie's really good there, and her husband's there too. So here are some of the flowers that were on board the ship at the Grand Dutch Cafe. And then it was time to go to dinner. So tonight was Dutch night, and at Dutch night they also serve Indonesian food because Indonesia was at one time a Dutch colony. So we started the evening with orange, so it was the orange party. I had Dutch split pea soup, which is delicious, but I only ate a little bit of it. And then I had the shrimp cocktail, which is pretty good. Those are small shrimp tonight. And then my main entree was Bambi Goreng, which is an Indonesian dish, and it's really good. It's got peanut sauce. And for dessert, which is Dutch apple pie. Aloha! Today is day 14 of our 21-day Hawaiian cruise. So we're in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and we had started the day with room service. So when room service was over, we went to the Lido pool and played cards for a little while. And then I had to go to guest services and sort out an issue that I had with the spa. So it's amazing how something so small can escalate into something so big. And then we sat down, got it all figured out, so everything's good again. So we loved the spa, and we love everybody up there. Anyway, then it was time for the Mariner lunch. So the Mariner lunch is where they invite the 3, 4, and 5-star Mariners to a special luncheon. It was fun. So my lunch started with this lobster roll. It was pretty good. I'm not a big fan of lobster, but I ate it. And then I had this beef, Wellington, I think. The mashed potatoes and gravy were really good, and dessert with this brownie. I loved that. And here I am at the luncheon. And then it was time for dinner. So I came back to the room, and I had this delicious pulled pork sandwich with fries and a ginger ale. Always good. And then I had to do laundry, clean my room, and I watched a movie. So that was the end of the day. Aloha! Today's day 15 of our 21-day Hawaii cruise. So here we are in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. We started the day with room service as usual. It was delicious. I always get my favorite things for breakfast, and that's okay. And you can see here I'm very happy because I knew that I was going to go get my pumpkin spice latte upstairs. So that was delicious. Anyway, it was a little rocky today. And in this video, if you look on the horizon, you can see the ship rocking back and forth, and see here comes the waves right there. And now they're going to go away. So we're rocking a little bit today, and that was kind of fun. So we had a good day playing cards up at the pool deck, and they came around and offered us cupcakes, which were really good. And here I was winning a hand, which was great. And then they gave us this watermelon drink, it was okay. Anyway, then it was time for dinner, and we went to the dining room where we started the evening with French onion soup. It was delicious as usual. And then I had this shrimp taco, which was nice. And then my main entree was this ravioli, which was good, and that French bread's really good. And I also had a cheese plate and coffee. And then here we are sailing across the ocean as we head back to San Diego. Anyway, today's day 16, and I'll keep you posted what's going on. Aloha from our 21-day Hawaiian cruise. So today's Sunday, and we are almost to San Diego. So today was another day on the ship. We started with room service in the room, which is delicious. And then I had to go down to the medical center, and look at that, they have a porthole. So I got some weird rash on my foot. So I had the doctor take a quick peek at it to see what it was. And she gave me some medicine, so it should be good. And then I went to the Lido pool, and there were towel animals everywhere. Hundreds and hundreds of towel animals. The crew must have spent like 3 or 4 hours making these. It was very cool to see. The towel animal takeover of the Lido pool. So that's mine, the blob. Anyway, then we spent the rest of the day playing cards, and I had delicious French fries as usual. No change there. And then I had a hot dog for lunch, which was also really good, and it was so beautiful out. So then it was time to get ready for dinner, and today in the dining room was gala night. So here we're just looking out the window in the dining room, seeing, what a beautiful view. So anyway, here's our gala night menu. So it was very fancy. The crew dresses up, passengers dress up, and we started with French onion soup. So good. And then it was a little shrimp dish, which was delicious, followed by my main entree, which was a salmon. And then for dessert, it was this coconut dulce de leche, which was really good. And then it was time to go back to my room, and they made me a towel animal of a swan. Or is that a turkey? Aloha from day 17 of our Hawaii cruise. Today we're off the coast of San Diego, heading into town. It didn't seem like we moved a lot because it seemed like we kind of stayed in the same spot. But tomorrow we get to San Diego. A bunch of people are going to get off the ship and other people are going to get on. But I'm going to stay on for a 4-day edition. So that will bring our 17-day cruise to 21. So anyway, we went up to the pool. It was great fun. And they have the roof open and these people were doing their line dances again. But the roof was open. It was only 63 degrees outside. So I ended up wrapping up in a towel to stay warm while we played cards. It was pretty fun. And then it was time to go to dinner. So we spent the whole day up there at the pool playing cards. And it was time for dinner, and this was the last dinner for a lot of people. So they were sad, but we're happy because we get to continue on. So dinner, we started with French onion soup. That's always good. And then I had these coconut-crusted chicken meatballs, and they were delicious. And then my main entree was this coconut-covered shrimp. Very good. And for dessert, it was a banana pudding. Really good. And we went to the pictures, and I found one of the pictures that I decided to buy. It's Tuesday, day 18 of our 21-day cruise. So today the ship is in San Diego. And here a bunch of passengers are getting off. A bunch of new passengers are getting on. And I'm just hanging out in the Dutch cafe while that's going on. So my room steward seemed to clean their room, so I just said I'd sit up here and hang out and watch all the excitement going on. So apparently the new group also has the company president and all the bigwigs on the ship too. So that's kind of fun. So I had Dutch split pea soup for breakfast. It was delicious. And then when I was done with that, I went upstairs to the crow's nest and they were setting up for a big wedding. So I thought, wow, that's kind of cool. And then I checked out this yacht. So I don't know if you can see it in that picture very well, but I had a hot dog for lunch while looking at that yacht across the way. That was a big ship. And then it was time for dinner. The day went so fast. So it was just a normal dinner, and I got the table to myself tonight, which was fun. So we started with delicious French onion soup, always good. And then I had this shrimp dish, which was delicious. And then it was time for this enchilada, which was really good. It had shredded beef inside. And then dessert was a cheese plate. Hey, good morning. It's day 19 of our 21-day cruise. It's Wednesday. So we started the day as usual with room service in the room. Always fun to do room service, not deal with the hassles in the Lido. And then I went up to the crow's nest, and I was the only one up there because everybody else was off the ship. So it was really nice to have this whole space to myself, and I had a delicious chai latte, which was good. And here I am after my chai latte, looking a little tired still. And then I went to the top deck, deck 14, and overlooked Santa Barbara. So this is Santa Barbara from the ship. It's a pretty town on the coast here. And they were using the tender to go back and forth between the ship and land. So I just decided I'm going to stay on the ship today and not do anything and just relax. And that's what I did. And then at the very top of the boat, I looked back and saw the back of the ship. So it was time for lunch. And I had a Arnold Palmer. And then before I knew it, I was eating a hot dog with French fries and buffalo sauce. That's always good. Of course, I ate my hot dog before I had time to film it. So here's more of that tender going back and forth. Always fun to watch. And then I went to the dining room for dinner. And it was French onion soup, which was delicious as usual. And then I had this shrimp cocktail thing. And then my main entree was salmon. And that was good. And then my dessert was a sundae, which was delicious. So then I went out on the deck, and here's our sunset last night. It was very beautiful. The sun is just hitting the ocean right here at the right time. It was pretty. And then I went to the show and the main theater here, and I watched one of the dance shows. So that was fun. And then I came back to my room, and I had a towel animal of a frog. Went to bed because I was exhausted. Hey, today's Thursday, day 20 of our 21-day cruise. So today we're at Catalina Island right outside of Los Angeles. So this morning, we started with room service as usual. It's so nice to just call a number and have them bring you breakfast. I wish they did that at home. Anyway, here's Catalina Island. So today I had to stay on the boat because I've got to start packing to get off the boat. So they keep giving me all these papers and I need to figure out which one I need to keep and which one I need to trash. So today I threw a lot of stuff away. So then I packed. So here I am packing my suitcase. And as you can see in this picture here, I'm finally starting to look a little organized in here. And then it was time for dinner. So it was Dutch night in the cafe, which is really good. So we started with French onion soup, delicious as usual. Then it was the shrimp cocktail, which was pretty good, followed by Bambi goreng, which is an Indonesian dish. It's really good. And of course for dessert was Dutch apple pie. And then when dinner was done, I looked out the window and we had this beautiful sunset over the Pacific Ocean. So how pretty is that? Just looking out the window and watching the sunset over the ocean. Anyway, tomorrow we're in Ensenada. Hey, it's Friday, and that means it's day 21 of our 21-day cruise to the Hawaiian Islands and the California Coastal Cruise. So I started the morning by packing, so I'm all packed and ready to go home. After 21 days, it's time to go back. So we started the morning with breakfast. It was as good as usual. And then I went upstairs and got a chai latte, which is really good. And then I went outside and sat at the Lido pool. They had the roof open and it was really nice. So I just soaked up some sun. And then I went to the 14th floor where I looked at Ensenada. So I stayed on the ship today because I didn't want to get off and have to deal with that. Because I was trying to get packed up and get my room cleaned up and all of that good stuff. So this is what Ensenada looks like from the top of the ship. This is deck 14 on the very top. The little white things down there, those are cabanas that you can rent. I think that'd be fun to do sometime. Anyway, I went to the spa and had a massage with Lana. She's really good. If you're ever on the ship, get her. It's already happy after the massage. And then we started to pull out of Ensenada. So here we are moving. I think you can see that on the video. And then it was dinner time. So for dinner, we started with a shrimp quesadilla. It was pretty good. And then I had my last French onion soup on this trip. And it was delicious as usual. And then this honey mustard salmon, and it was really good. And dessert was a chocolate brownie sundae. So that's it. So we'll see you on the next cruise. Stay safe.